Hello everybody, Kenny here, also known as psyguyorami, or if you watch or listen to the podcast, Psyguy. Uh, Part-time hobby producer, content creator on that front. And that's actually what I want to talk about today. Give y'all some insight, tell you what's going on, what's coming up, so on and so forth. So, over the last week and a half, 2 weeks, I've been working on these projects. I've already uploaded a few of them. You guys have seen them, the Castle, Dracula versus Lich King. I've done one for Beyond Two Souls. We've done one for, a few other things. So I wanted to let y'all know what's going on. I've been working with AI on these projects. I've been working with Gemini as a research assistant, helping pull some details. I correct and edit here and there to try to get some things lined up. I try to critically think on this. What will happen if two of these different universes, with different rules, and it makes this stuff harder. And you probably see this in Death Battle. They do a way deeper thing because they have a full team than I can. But with AI, it's going pretty well, in my opinion. Now, these will never be perfect. And like I said, I do this as a hobby, but I do take time to research as much as I can. I've been throwing fun facts in there, unknown things. There is one for Final Fantasy VIII coming up that was really special to me. If I haven't published it already at the time of this recording, we'll see. But so anyway, I use Gemini as a research assistant. I use NotebookLM from Google to type out these ideas, to format it, to script it a bit, and give a prompt for the two hosts who I have dubbed Cypher and Castia. I give them a prompt how to talk, what to say, so on and so forth. PSYCAST I had thought was a really cool name to come up with. I've also come up with their avatars for Castia and Cypher. Castia is a bit of I want to say a company girl for the bit, because she's dedicated to the podcast. Her profile, that's what I've outlined for these, because I come up with these characters. And I will list those or go over those at some point. But she's got PSYCAST written on her shirt, which was not easy to do, given the AI art program I use, which is Stability Matrix. So there's that, and then there's Cypher. Cypher is more laid back, more mature, older. He's in his 40s, kind of like me. So he refuses to wear a company shirt with the logo on it. He is who he is, but he's happy to be a part of it, basically. So there's that. That's just some insight. That's what's going on, but it tends to take probably a day or two to get the AI right on multiple fronts. Gemini is pretty much direct. I can edit with that. I can, have them analyze these 2 points, what would happen here, and then I look at it from my point of view and I say, well, that doesn't really make much sense. Dive deeper, look at the details, and go from there. That's pretty direct. When it comes to, again, the NotebookLM, though, the AI host, I've got 20 regenerations a day on these audio creations. And sometimes it gets mixed up. Cypher thinks he's Castia, Castia thinks she's Cypher, and things go crazy. They use these terms that drive me nuts. I've been trying to get rid of the deep dive aspect. You will also hear your sources in there off and on. I try to get rid of that. You'll also hear these random sound bites that pop up. Sometimes it sounds like they're talking to themselves. It's not perfect. None of this is perfect, but I really enjoy doing it. And so you're going to see things. I'm about to give you all a list of what's coming up, but in the next month or two, I've got these things outlined like crazy. You're going to see some of the early work where they didn't really have any personality per se, but later on, there may be a random video here and there on the in-between, but later on as you get into these freaking fly. we just got done streaming Perception, and I had to take a break to get rid of this thing, but it's still in here. It's like the freaking presence in Perception, which scares the hell out of me, if I'm being honest. That game gives me a little bit of anxiety, but getting through it. It recently bugged on part 2, and I just like, okay, I'm done for the night. It took me all the way back to the recent save point. But anyway, you can watch the stream if you want to check that out. So anyway, let's jump into the upcoming schedule on that. I'm sorry I'm rambling. But what we've got coming up, and I love these. We've recently published Who Wins Between Selene and Asterion. I love that one. Those doing critical thinking on that part for Selene's military mentality for over 600 years. Her brain's obviously been trained, pretty much fortified, and of course the leg up that Asterion had on her was the Tadpole's abilities for the psychic attacks. We've done Battletoads versus TMNT. That was a cool one. A bit of a toss-up depending on if they're enclosed or not. If you want to check that out, you can. I also did this random one of Crypto versus Scratch. And I thought this was interesting because you've got these two pups that, one's from WoW, the other's from, obviously, Baldur's Gate 3. And so Crypto wins every time. And you can get more details on that if you want to. There was the Xenosaga series, episode 1 and 2, which was done. There was Beyond Two Souls, the Vector Man series, I loved. I did one on that. We also did one for Blood Rain. So that's the most previously published ones. And then, of course, there was the Unthinkable Alliance between Dracula and Lich King. Upcoming, we've got Juliet Starling versus Buffy Summers. Lollipop Chainsaw versus Buffy. That one's really interesting. We've got a full PSYCAST for Final Fantasy VIII, the details within. This was a bit of a passion project for me, so that'll be coming up soon on the 2nd, as of this recording. There's also one for Killer Instinct. This one I did for Lady Psylocke. A bit of a anniversary gift, for the most part. She liked it. So that's coming up. That's on June 9th. There's also Who Wins Eve from Parasite Eve versus Ultimisia from Final Fantasy VIII. This was really interesting. And it asked some really good questions. So there's that. June 11th on that one. There's a Street Fighter PSYCAST coming up, fully dedicated to the history of the very first Street Fighter 1, which gets overlooked a lot, I think. Street Fighter 2 tends to cast a shadow on it, huge shadow. It basically might as well blot out the sun. But the facts in this PSYCAST that are presented in the Street Fighter 1, which is coming out, what do I have that set for? June 16th, is amazing. I mean, when you look at the story, when you look at the arcade aspect from this, I really wish I could do a better job at providing pictures, but I throw these together, I do the best I can, and I have to move on due to time, work, family, relationships, so on and so forth. But there's that. Anyway, it's a great analysis of what went down during the process of making Street Fighter, as well as some fun facts. June 18th, we've got She-Ra versus Wonder Woman coming up, which is really cool. The ending is a fit, I believe. June 23rd, we've got a Parasite Eve analysis. Tells a story about Parasite Eve 1 and 2, how they came to be, so on and so forth. That's really cool. Xenosaga 3, The End of a Legacy, June 30th. That one was really great. July 2nd, we've got a Who Wins between Lady Death and Kaguya from Naruto. This one I had to get some help from Gemini with, because I could not think of a single character that I believe could really match up to Lady Death, given her history and her history of powers at her peak. She's been up and down, but at her peak, it was amazing. So, Gemini suggested Kaguya. I researched Kaguya a bit because I watched some Naruto, but I've never really seen all of it. So, after researching her, I was like, wow, okay, let's do it. So we did it. That's coming up July 2nd. After that, the first 2v2. Technically. Reinhardt and Anna versus Steiner and Beatrix from Final Fantasy IX. Now, this one was nuts, and I had to do some deep diving. And there's one critical point in there that, if you listened for it, I think really shifts things their way, because Anna and Reinhardt versus these two, after looking at it and analyzing it, for the most part, there's one critical factor that, and if you play Overwatch, you know what I'm thinking about, especially Anna, when it comes to healing, or disabling healing, hint, hint, that came into play. Otherwise, it would have been a bit one-sided. But there's a mechanic in Final Fantasy IX where Steiner and Beatrix, they can debuff, basically, or not debuff, remove with Asuna. So really cool point in there. I did some research on that. That was fun. After that, July 2nd, we've got Splinter versus Raz Al Ghul. This one was fun. I enjoyed that one. It was really good. And then after that, again, that was July 16th. After that, we've got Jodie Holmes and Aiden versus Marvel Girl Phase of Jean Grey. That one was really cool too. But I will say, didn't exactly end the way I thought it would. Because I like Beyond Two Souls. And I had to throw her in there. So, that's July 23rd. Others you'll see pop up. Wuzzles versus the Get Along Gang. This one was fun. Although the commentary is a bit harsh. So, I will warn you in case you see that. And then after that, we've got Harry from Pitfall versus Indiana Jones in a bare knuckle brawl in this really dangerous as hell jungle. So, I've had a lot of fun with these. I wanted to share this video. You can see or feel my excitement. It is not perfect. AI is not perfect. I'm doing the best I can with it. But it is allowing me to exaggerate ideas, exaggerate battles, throw these contenders in there, and see what they can do. This is stuff I've thought about for a long time. Even back, I believe it was 2017, 2018, I proposed the Dracula versus Lich King idea during a gamer log. And now it's come to fruition. 8 years I've been wanting to do that, and I finally did it. Anyway, that is what we have. You know, I hope y'all check them out. I hope you enjoy them. If not, I totally get it. Like I said, this is just a side hobby of content I wanted to do for a while, and I'm really looking forward to it. Anyway, that's the end of this. Thanks for checking out the gamer log and the channel update. Stay safe, stay sane. Remember, you're awesome. Never let the world see you otherwise. Oh, and these premiere on Monday and Wednesday. I believe I have them set for 5 p.m. Each night Central. So, anyway, remember, you're awesome. Never let the world tell you otherwise. I've also programmed the AI to throw that in the later episodes too. See ya.